What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again. In today's video, we're going to be getting into DHC Dungeon Hunter Champions Beginner's Guide. And I've been through the game. I've been playing it for about 2 to 3 weeks now. I've progressed fairly well, even in getting into later game content at this point because I grinded all day. And what I want this video to do is kind of give you guys the map that I wish I had and that some people really helped me out to do when I first started the game. So the first thing I want to talk about is what's mostly on everybody's mind, and that is what champions should I be on the lookout for to start the game with. So the first one I want to point out is going to be Rhoda here. Rhoda is going to be a 3-star champion. Her name is actually going to be Nature Valkyrie, though, before you ascend her. And we'll talk about ascending in a minute. But Rhoda is extremely powerful. Be on the lookout for a 3-star, remember 3-star, Nature Valkyrie. You're going to be able to get her, and you're also going to be able to farm her from an event later on that we'll talk about later. That's a little bit more tough, but should be getting a lot of her down the road. The next unit I want to talk about is Manus. This is another 3-star champion you guys can get in the game. He is a very, very critical to, again, just like Rhoda, late game, mid game, early game. Going to help you out a ton. You want to get your hands on this unit. Another unit I want to point out is Mojo, and this is going to be the water timekeeper before you ascend. When you ascend a champion, they do get a name of their own. We'll look into that in a second, though. Mojo is going to be a great one for you as well. That's going to be the Nature Grublin. The only way to get Mojo is if you guys go to shop and then go to the black market. He can sometimes, and there he is, the Grublin Shaman. This is going to be the Nature Grublin Shaman. You guys can get him from the shop right here. At the beginning of the game, I would recommend buying as many of him as you can until you skill him all the way up. And we'll talk about skill ups in a minute, but you guys can find him here, and that's going to be great for you guys to pick him up. Easy. He only shows up there. You can't summon him, but it's really easy like you just saw. You pick him up, you get there, and you're good to go. Another unit I want to talk about is Xenia. That is going to be the Light Boon Sister. You are going to need her a lot for endgame when it comes to the endgame raids. She's very, very strong, and she is farmable from the Sunday Light Dungeon. Very, very rare. I think it took me about, I was refilling a ton. It took me about 8 hours to get her, but we ended up making it, and that was pretty good. That's another unit you guys should be looking to get. And there's one more down here I want to talk about that you guys can obtain pretty easily. I got to get down to my 2-star monsters, though. Let's see, where is he? Where is he? This guy right here, the Crystal Priest. I have not used this unit in the game, and I never needed to, because I got pretty lucky with summons, or I've worked other ways around it. But the Crystal Priest can be obtained using Common Disc, which are, like, really easy to obtain. He's a 2-star base unit, but has big potential, just like Mojo, who's a 2-star unit, to actually be used down the line when you need him. So those are the units I think you guys should be on the lookout for in the beginning of the game to be able to prosper and do really well. Now, let's look into actually enhancing your champions and making them stronger. Alright guys, so when you have your champion, let's say you farmed up the Boon Sister, the Light Boon Sister, what can I do to make the Boon Sister stronger? Well, first off, we have training, and training is just going to be like anything you've seen before. We just take a bunch of different creatures, we put them in, and it gets an experience boost. So we hit train, it puts up the experience, they get a little bit stronger. The next thing you guys can do is go ahead and promote them. And what this is once we get the unit to max star level, that's going to hit a level cap, right? We can't level them up anymore, but if we promote them by using a certain amount of stars here, we are going to be able to, actually level them up stronger, making them more powerful. And let me show you an example of this right here. We're going to go ahead and head down to somebody that we have ready to promote. Let's find, okay, so we have this guy right here. He is max star leveled out. We're going to go ahead and hit promote. Now, his max level for right now is 30, but once we promote him, it's going to go all the way up to 40. But what we need are 3 different 3-star units to feed into them. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to find some dupes I have. There are some other special units we'll look into here in a minute. Let's see, some units I don't really need right now. I don't need that guy. I don't need that guy. Once we hit promote, as long as they're max level, we use 3 of those. Boom. He is promoted up to that. To extend him to a 5-star, we need to make him all the way up to level 40, and then we can promote him from there. That's an example of another way you can make them stronger. Let's move on to Xenia. The next thing you can do, and this does not require max level, is called ascending. And what this does, it actually increases the skills and the parameters that they have on the champion, along with maybe sometimes giving them a passive and always giving them a name. So you can see she becomes Xenia. And you get these elixirs from grinding the Golden Bull Champions or the Golden Bull God raid. I'll show you in a minute. There are also specific element ones that come out specific days. But one thing I also want to point out here is the Elixir Lab. This is going to allow you to downgrade or upgrade specific elixirs if you need them. So if we look here, I am in the need of one of these, but I have 221 of these. So if I go to Elixir Lab, I can click this one, and it takes 10 of these to make one of these. That's great for me. I'm going to go ahead and click that, get it done. Boom. I'm going to go back, and then I can ascend right here. I'm going to go ahead and click ascend. Yes. And Xenia, or the Light Boon Sister, has now become Xenia, making her much stronger, and that's pretty much a way I want to go. Another thing I want to point out are skill ups. This is the ability to be able to go ahead and fuse any of the same monster, or the same champion, excuse me. So any Boon Sister into Zinnia. It does not have to be a light Boon Sister. It could be any Boon Sister into her. It's going to give her a skill up, and it's random which one it puts up. But you can see there's a limit to what they can be skilled up to. So let's say I put a bunch into her. She can only go up to level 5 on Erosion. However, you know, it's random, it keeps going up, and you keep wanting to do that until you max them out. That's going to be very important, very, very cool. One thing you could do, as we talked about with, if we go back up here to promoting, if you have maybe another Boon Sister, maybe you wait, farm it up to 4-star before, or 3-star before you actually promote someone. That's also, if you put it in here during the promotion process, that's still going to net you the skill up. So you can kind of get double use out of it, right? You get the promotion while also getting the skill up. So that's something you guys can look into as well. And finally, a way to make your unit a bit stronger is gear. And gear is its own thing. We're going to talk about it a little bit here in a second, but I'm going to have a more detailed video in the gear. But gear is how you make your unit great, phenomenal, and how you grow it as we go on. So, yeah, let's talk about gear for a minute. So gear can be obtained in the shop, which is really don't want to buy the shop gear. It can also be obtained through the adventure mode, but mostly you're going to be going into either Elder Drake or the Iron Widow, or the, what is it called? Steel Widow, excuse me, dungeon bosses here that we're going to be able to take on, these raid bosses. So this is where you're going to be able to get them. Each gear piece, if you put on a certain amount of them, if we have 2 vital pieces, we're going to get max HP 15%. If we end up getting 4 brutal on our character, and they can only be 6 on them, we're going to get attack plus 35%. And then you see that the Elder Drake, and then if we go over to the Steel Widow, they give you different loots. And I'm going to tell you right now, Adept is top tier, 100%, skill cooldown time down 30%. That is going to be amazing for you guys. The more skills you can pop off, the more damage you're going to do, the better you're going to heal, the more you're going to be tanky, etc. So that's going to be what you're going to look after, but Steel Widow's a little bit tough. Other than that, guys, I'm not going to go too much into gear right now. Just at the beginning, I wouldn't really be worrying about 1 or 2-star gear. Look for 3-star gear to be leveling up. I wouldn't level anything past really level 9 at this point until you get maybe some 4-star, 5-star, 6-star. Actually start farming into Elder Drake and Steel Widow. I wouldn't go too nuts on that. Speaking of, here's where you guys can farm out the actual, you know, the materials you guys need in order to awaken your units. You can see also that each one of these, or ascend your unit, excuse me. You guys can see that you get other things as well, but along with champion shards. So again, on Sunday, you guys are going to be able to go in here, and that's where you're going to be able to get your Xenia, which I think is very important to farm. And then also on Thursday, you can go in there. Rhoda can be obtained through there, but I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be able to get her from Rare Disc anyway. There are a few units in the game that are only used for enhancing, and I want to go over those now and show you guys what they can do. So there are 3 different types of varying support Fuzzle Puffs in the game, and these are champion monster units that we use only to enhance our actual units that we have. And the first one we have here that I want to talk about is a training Fuzzle Puff. Now these will come to you either as level 1 or level 10. I haven't seen any level in between, but they're essentially, excuse me, your experience fodder. Now at level 10, you can go ahead and feed it in any unit that you want to get leveled up, but at level 1, you want to make sure you level this bad boy up to max level 10 before you feed it for maximum experience. So you go into train, and honestly, I just feeded a bunch of these 1-stars. I think we have to go up to 15 of these. What I'm going to go ahead and do is feed it some 2-stars too to max it out to show you guys. So you see max level right here. I train it up. Boom. That's what I want to do. And then eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to feed that into somebody that needs a lot of experience. That is what the training Fuzzle Puffs are for, okay? Next up, we have these star Fuzzle Puffs. And what they're going to come to you as already maxed out level. And what they're used for is they're essentially promotion material, right? You can see that I've already actually maxed out these. I've promoted them. But they come to you and they're already max level, saving you the time from having to max level out another champion in order to ascend it so you can go up the ladder. You know, 2-star to go to 3-star requires 2 2-stars. 3-star to go to 4-star requires 3 3-stars. 4-star to 5-star requires 4 4-stars. 5-star to 6-star, 5 5-stars. So it does get kind of hectic. There is a lot of farming involved, but these little guys can help you out a lot. You guys definitely want to just take them, immediately promote them up, and then have them ready to promote someone else. You can see that I have 2 5-star ones here ready to go to make one of my 5-stars 6-stars. And finally, probably the most important, most rare, best one of the Fuzzle Puffs is the Tutor Fuzzle Puff. Now remember how we were talking about how you have to have the same type of unit, doesn't have to be the same element, but same type of champion, excuse me, to be able to do a skill up. Well, the Tutor Fuzzle Puff is going to solve your problem there. You put this bad boy into any champion, and a random skill up is happening to them. The thing about this, though, is it's really hard to get 5 stars in this game, guys. So you really want to save these for your 5 stars that you know are definitely good, you're definitely going to be using, and then pop those into your 5 stars. I wouldn't recommend using these on any 4 stars, any 3 stars, any 2 stars, and if you're putting them in 1 stars, you're just insane, all right? So you want to save these guys for your 5-star champions when you eventually get them, and make sure it's a 5-star champion you're going to invest a lot of time in before you get rid of them. So they're very, very important. But those are the 3 major Fuzzle Puffs in the game and what their uses are. Another question I was asked a lot, and honestly, I asked it, was, what should I be spending my gems on? This is the premium currency in the game. We do have gold that enhances, it's used a lot of in the game. You can earn it through game, just like gems you can. But this is the premium currency. What should I be spending that on? I think at the beginning of the game, it's fine. And even if you find yourself being a little bit squirrely, you can go in here to the special. You can move on over and buy this premium pack for 750, okay? It's going to give you 11 rare discs. It's going to give you some gold. It's going to give you some training Fuzzle Puffs. And you guys are going to be able to start acquiring the champions I was telling you about, getting lucky maybe even getting a 5-star, some 4 stars to help you start out at the beginning. So I did this about a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. Then after that, I've been using my gems for nothing except for refilling my energy, man. I want to be grinding. Constant grinding is how you're going to get ahead in this game, how you're going to catch up, and how you're going to prevail in the end. So premium pack seems great too, but also saving them after that. After you get a couple of champions you can work with, you're ready to go. Save them for refills, guys, because that's going to keep you playing the game. So you understand the game a bit, you just don't know what exactly you're doing. How do you progress? What should I be doing from the beginning? Head down to your missions book and follow this mission book to a T. The first thing you guys want to be doing is everything this mission book says. This pretty much teaches you the game, shows you the ropes, and gives you amazing rewards as you run through it. Honestly, it summons. You can see that you get a lot of these tutor puffs, or excuse me, training Fuzzle Puffs. You get some actual great, this guy right here is a great champion to be working on, along with this champion right here, the Light Valk. You get some ascension materials, all kinds of stuff that you guys can get in there. Follow that book. That's what you want to be doing. Another point I want to point out to you guys is make sure you're doing your arena. It's going to be really tough at first, but they do have these different things you guys can fight. They're like NPCs, like PvE arena type style where you can get arena points. You want to head over to the PvP shop, and you are always allowed to buy 1 tutor Fuzzle Puff a week for 360 of the arena, you know, badges, rewards, whatever they call them, tokens. So you want to make sure you get that every week. So you need to be grinding the arena, grinding your PvE battles in there. I think they're called challenges, to make sure you get this every week. Because remember what I said, tutor Fuzzle Puffs are super valuable, and this is a way to get them weekly. I do believe they give them out in events and things like that as well. So that's what you guys want to be working on. Eventually, you want to join a guild, you want to get some friends, and you want to start working up to where you can do some raids, you know, the Dragon Raid, the Iron, Steel Widow, excuse me, I always want to say Iron, Steel Widow Raid. That's going to be stuff you want to work on as well. And that's pretty much, I think it's going to cover everything I want to talk about in this beginner's guide. Your friend unit, you can only use once a day, okay? If you use somebody's friend unit, you can only use once a day. So take that as your advantage to take on some bosses maybe you can't complete. Maybe you're stuck on some mission objectives that you guys need to get in there and handle, and that's what I would use them for. They're very valuable, so get a hold of some very strong friends. And just enjoy the game. Sit back and enjoy it. This game is definitely super free-to-play friendly. 5 stars make it much better, you know, much more happy when you get one. It enhances your chances in PvP and also PvE, but not exactly necessary to be strong. As I've shown you, those champions to begin with are not that, you know, they're not that rare, but they are very strong, and they're even in my teams when it comes down to me farming late game content. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you're playing this game, and if there's anything else you're a little confused on that I can follow up in later videos. Definitely doing a gear guide and things like that. And then subscribe for future Dungeon Hunter Champion content. We'll catch you guys in the next video.